All right, today's episode on Tequila Forever Tequila. Fuck it. Sometimes you gotta try something new, something different, something you've never heard of or seen. And just because you're unfamiliar with the brand does not mean that it's not good. It also does not mean that it's not additive free just because it hasn't been confirmed by a tequila matchmaker. Keep in mind that, some brands have either been discontinued or TNM had just not gotten to them. There's a lot of brands that are, continuing to release. There's a lot of brands that have to be reconfirmed. I believe that's like a yearly thing where they have to reconfirm, the brand additive free to make sure nothing has changed during their process or whatever. Anyways, I'm into trying new tequilas, tequilas that I've never heard of. So what I'm talking about, a tequila that's unfamiliar. This was unfamiliar to me. Like, I have never seen this brand before, but apparently this brand has been out for a very, very long time. I was looking online, trying to get some information on this tequila. I could not find anything, but I think on Reddit and perhaps on eBay, I think it was, I've found some older bottles. They had a GL 40 or 40 GL, which I believe is like a French term. It was Joseph Gay-Lussac, if I'm not mistaken. I apologize if I'm mispronounced the name or whatever, but that was like a French chemist or something who who uncovered. I got to get a little more information on that, but it was just a different way of how they measured tequila, or the alcohol before you start seeing the ABV. So that was with a different nom number. This nom number on this tequila is 1545. I took a look at the nom later. I believe the only tequilas that I recognized on there was Calle 23, Casa Mexico, and Paqui. So those tequila brands are made at the distillery. There's some other brands there that I don't recognize. I don't really like using Tequila Matchmaker to take a look at the ratings. Although I gotta say that sometimes they can save you some money. Something that's perhaps not, rated very well or whatever. But I feel that also that can also like discourage you from making a purchase. This one, when I seen it, I just thought the bottle looked pretty cool. I don't consider this to be like a fancy bottle or a luxury bottle or nothing like that. I just thought it was a cool looking bottle. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try something new, take that risk. That's really what I'm all about. I like trying new tequilas, rare tequilas and stuff like that. And I can get into that a little bit more in a different video. For now, let's just go ahead and get down to doing this review. So this tequila, like I said, it's not number 1545. That's Hacienda Capellana. And like I said, I don't really have any information on this tequila. What I could say though is that it's perhaps done the right way because, I got another bottle right here of the Añejo. And if you look at this bottle, I'll try to take some pictures and stuff. If you were to take a look at this bottle up close, but you're gonna notice that it has like little bubbles on the inside, and then it's not really perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it might have been hand blown, so it could be like a bit of an older bottle. Also, the cap, this one has a natural cork, so it's different. You know what I mean? And then you can see like the Aztec God. And one thing I forgot to mention is that the older bottles were like some like Aztec sculptures. It might have been like the calendar or some Aztec gods. Really cool looking bottles. I think they were from like the 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm not sure when this design came out, but I do know that these bottles are from like 2010 or anywhere from like 2005 to 2010. And the way that I know that, is if you take a look right here on this, I'll see if I can zoom in or take a picture and put it on the screen, right? So what it says on here, it says NOM 006 SC FI 2005. So that nom right there was, something very important that they used to use. I think they started that sometime like in the 90s, right? It's not the nom number on the distillery. It was, some kind of like identifier, you know what I mean, to make sure it was a legitimate product. Before, I think they had one like in 1990, 93, 94. Then I believe it was like 2005. And then the most current one is, 2012. As far as I know, I don't know if it's changed, but they all start off with that, NOM 006, S, CFI, you know what I mean? It's like, it's 2005, so we know that from 2005, having that little identifier before it changed to 2012, had to be anywhere from 2005 to 2011. And then on the side, or even here on the sticker, you can see that it has the nom number of the distillery. All right, so let's go ahead and get down to doing this review. And I wanted to show you guys something too that I thought was pretty cool. Check it out. So as you look at it right here, this tequila right here, it has that the bottle dispenser, also known as a stopper, which prevents spills. It's more of a control, pour. Supposedly it preserves flavors by, being able to control that pour so you don't over pour in a cup or whatever. But there's a solution for that, right? If you over pour a lot, just drink it down to where you need it to be able to really inhale the aromas and everything, right? Some people think it's annoying, but this is actually really good because it prevents, having this type of seal, right, where you crack the seal and then having that stopper inside, it prevents it from being refilled. So one thing that it does, it prevents counterfeit, from somebody resealing up a bottle or whatever. So it's always a nice thing to have. A lot of people say that only the Mexican versions have it, but as you can see, it's not true. So let's go ahead and pour this up. If you want a little bit more of a faster pour, just face it down. All right, so that's the Blanco right there, or the silver. And then I'll make sure to take some pictures and stuff. That way you guys can see it a little bit better. It's the Añejo. And then the Reposado. Like I was saying, sometimes you just gotta say fuck it, you know what I mean? You gotta try a different brand, I say. To try to be a little bit more on the safe side. What I do use Tequila Matchmaker for is to look at the nom number usually and see where it's being made, to see if there's any tequilas that I recognize, or try to look at the equipment that they're using, right? As long as I don't see it like post diffuser or something like that, then I feel a little more comfortable purchasing it. And like I said, as far as the ratings go, I'd rather do my ratings first, and then I can compare them later. Like after I'll take my notes, write it down, and say, okay, I'm gonna rate this tequila, this, that, whatever. Then I can go to Tequila Matchmaker and compare it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want my rating to be influenced, by what I see, or to be discouraged, like I said, from purchasing something. But just to be a little bit on the safe side, I just want to check the equipment that perhaps is being used, or see if there's anything that you might recognize. I love trying new tequilas that I'm unfamiliar with, especially when they're older. Because you never know what you might get, and just a different terroir, different climate, different everything at the time, process, right, with every different brand and everything, methods, and it's like going back in time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start first with the Blanco. So as you can see right here, this is crystal clear, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little swirl. And I'm looking at it here on the glass. It's holding up very, very well. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose. So this tequila smells really fresh. I'm getting a lot of cinnamon on this tequila. A touch of minerality. There is a very light alcohol presence in this. Yeah, so I'm gonna say very light minerals, some light alcohol, a lot of cinnamon. You know, it smells fresh, and like I said, a little bit minty. You know, that's about it. Nothing complex, nothing crazy. You know, just a pretty much simple tequila, but at a very good price. And I'll talk about the prices in just a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the taste on this tequila. That's the first sip of the day. Well, maybe not of the day, but I'm not gonna judge it right away. Okay, so what I'm gonna say in this tequila, I still get tons of cinnamon. I do get the agave, tons of cinnamon. There's some heat followed by this. Maybe a little pinch of like pepper. You do get a little bit of light like minerals. And that's really all I'm picking up on the taste, as far as the flavors go. The mouthfeel on this tequila. I'm gonna say that's like a little bit like very light silky, nothing crazy. Simple tequila, simple. And you know what? Let's go ahead and jump on to the Reposado next, right? Get these out of the way a little bit. So the Reposado, and as you can see, this is like there's a light yellow. It's like a little bit of a light yellow. I'm not sure how long it's been rested for. Like I said, I really don't have any information on this tequila, and I believe it's no longer being made, and that's according to Tequila Matchmaker. When you look up the NOM, you see the tequilas that are made at that NOM. I believe it's on the not active. But I tried looking up information, couldn't really find anything. All right, so we'll take a look right now when I swirl it up. And I can also see that this one holding up, very well. So let's see what we pick up on the nose on this tequila. So in this tequila, I'm also picking up some cinnamon, but it definitely mellowed down. The agave is still present. I'm picking up a little bit of light, like vanilla. I still get that mint in there, and it's some like a little bit of muted caramel. As far as the alcohol goes, it's still a little bit present in there. That's fine. Balance on this tequila, I'm gonna say it's not bad, I think a little bit of that vanilla is kind of shining through a little bit, but everything else is still present. As far as the minerals, in the far back, you can still kind of smell that little minerality touch to it. But it's not bad on the balance, all those flavors are still there. It's not like one is really overpowering everything else. Like I said maybe a little bit of that vanilla stands out a little bit more, with the barrel influence. But nothing crazy, It's somewhat pretty good balance. The mouthfeel on this one, it's a little bit more, silky than the other one, and it's still followed by, just like a little bit of heat. There's a little bit of like a spiciness to this. Like I said, I can taste a little bit of pepper. You taste the vanilla. You do taste the caramel on this. The agave is still present on the taste. The cinnamon. Say it's like a little bit fruity on the taste. It's not bad, it's like a mild tequila. It's not bad at all. I'd say it's pretty good. And then finally we can get down to doing the Añejo. We'll get these out of the way real quick. And then we'll take a look at the Añejo. And like I said, you know what I mean? Like looking at this one right here, I think this one is older. Like I said, this is a natural cork. Looking at the bottle, this one you can see like little bubbles in there, and then it's not like perfect. You know what I mean? If I look at the colors like up in the light, I think this one's a little bit darker, which tells me too that there's not a consistent color. You know what I'm saying? Like if you would always see tequilas that, different batches, and they're always very consistent on the color, or even the taste, then I can say that, perhaps additives are being used. You know what I'm saying? They are a little bit different, you know what I mean? But I'll take some pictures. You guys can take a look at it. I did see that the bottle design changed. You can see like the agave plank on this one right here, kind of going to sideways. And then this one, it's like facing down, but I'll get some pictures, like I said. We'll get this out the way for now. And then we'll go ahead and jump on this one. And then, just to be clear too, so if you look at the bottle, it says extra aged. Right now, usually what I mean, like silver, or plata, Blanco, would be, and obviously considers the silver Blanco, right? Regular tequila. And you look at this Reposado right here, it says aged, but now if you were to see age, it would be like an Añejo. But really, I think during this time, or what they meant on this one, this is actually the Reposado, and the age was another term before it gets used for rested or Reposado. You know what I mean? And then you look at this one right here, it says extra aged. It's not to be confused with an extra Añejo. Nowadays, if you would see something that says, extra age, right? That reference would be to an extra Añejo, but for this one, they're actually referring to an Añejo. So, I'm not sure, if this was prior to 2006 or where those terms came from or whatever, but I just want to be clear on that. Anyways, we'll take a look at color on this one. This one's a little bit darker, right? It's, a lot darker than the Reposado. It's more like an amber, darker color. And then we'll go ahead and swirl this up. And we'll take a look at it here on the glass. And I can also see that it's holding on very well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the nose. All right, so this Jorongo is similar to the Reposado, but the flavors that it picks up from the barrels are a lot stronger, right? They're just a lot more vivid. So in this one, I do pick up a lot more barrel influence, right? I pick up more vanilla, more oak. There's still that minerality in there. Very, 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 very light in the back. I'm gonna say this one's a little bit floral. It feels like there's some fruity and then spicy notes in this. Maybe a little bit of butterscotch. And this tequila is really nothing complex either, but it smells good. I mean, these aromas are pretty well balanced as well. Once again, the vanilla, yes, does kind of stand out a little bit more, but it's nothing overwhelming, nothing crazy like that. But, some of those barrel influences are really, really shining through, you know what I mean? But the agave is present, and that's what's important. It smells pretty good. So in this Añejo, I'd say this is between being a little bit creamy and really silky. And that's going to be with the help, of course, of the time that it's spent on the barrel. You know what I mean? That it just made it a little bit more creamy, a lot more silkier. But this one is sweeter. Sweeter. I can taste a little bit of bitter oak in there. And also a little bit of sweet oak, butterscotch, vanilla, some fruit notes, maybe like a little bit of cherry. I'm also picking up that cinnamon that I picked up in the Blanco. And I'm gonna say too, like in this one, they're still getting some barrel spice. I still taste a little bit of pepper. And like towards the finish, I'm gonna say that the minerality, is really kicking in there with a little bit of bitterness from the wood. Still a bit of mild heat. It fades off kind of quick. But, you don't really get the alcohol presence on this one. So I'm going to say that they're all, well, actually, let me correct, not all of them, but the Blanco's all right. But I'm not really going to complain because this Blanco, $20. And that's cheap. $20 for it's not bad. The Reposado, $24. It's a good price. And then the Añejo, got it for $30. Got it for $30. So, you know what I mean? 30, 20, that's 50, 24, like $74 for 3 tequilas. It's a really good price for all 3. And to be honest, compared to the what's the review I did on the Pueblo Viejo, I would say I would rather choose these for the price. You know what I'm saying? But I know these are older bottles, so if I had to compare older with older, might be different. But I'm gonna say it's a very good price. I mean, if you have seen these in your liquor store or something, I recommend picking up the Reposado and the Añejo. And the Blanco's alright. I mean, if you're gonna use it for mixing, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's not bad. It's at a very good price. But I'll definitely recommend these two. They're pretty good. And like I said, just because you're unfamiliar with the brand, it doesn't mean that it's not additive free. It also doesn't mean that it's not good. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it. You know what I mean? Try something new, something different. And that's what I did, and I'm glad I did. It's a pretty good tequila. So if you guys have tried this tequila, I mean, go ahead and put in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If not, if you guys have seen them before, or if you guys got any additional information, how long they've been rested for, aged for, or whatever, I mean, go ahead and put them on there. For now, thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoy the review. And just remember, fuck it. Sometimes you gotta try something new. Salud.